It's going to be kind of a difficult decade. Not quite a decade, but it's a difficult time in my life. And I think what I was looking for during this period of time was somebody to connect my life to. That I would find a woman and tell her my life plans and goals, and she would tell me hers. And there would be like compatible enough that we could attach our lives together and go further together than we could have alone. And so after I left my house with Tori, I basically signed over the house to her, got a consolation prize with a certain amount of money, and I thought to myself I'd be able to buy a house, but I didn't have the income capability to do it by myself. And so I was kind of like, I was renting a house from my grandfather, got a new house, and I was in a relationship with a lovely woman named Cammie, and working the same job, bike messenger, taking taekwondo and teaching, and that was just kind of my life. The problem was, like, I started feeling as time went on, that like just nothing was changing. Nothing was going forward, nothing was developing, and I felt like, I don't know, that I was like stagnating. And so I just wanted to completely get out of my life. I wanted to leave everything like I decided. Things just weren't working out, is what I mean. And during this time, I was talking to Christy, who I'd met when I was traveling through Greece. She lives in Australia, and she said, maybe you need a vacation in Australia. And so I went to meet her and vacation in Australia, and I had this idea that I would bike around Australia, but instead fell in love with her, and I fell in love with Australia. And in my mind, I was like, maybe this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. Maybe Christy and I could start a life together, and I could move to Australia and like not only have like a fresh start, but like, I don't know, like a start on what I thought I was looking for. And tried to make that work for a couple years. And things fell apart, and I think I just kind of gave up. Like I pretty much just went back to doing what I was doing. I went back to being a bike messenger. I got into a relationship with a woman named Sandy that I never knew what was going on for. And I remember once she said something like, "You never ask questions." And I'm like, well, is there anything you want to tell me? And she's like, no. Or, what else did she say? Oh, that one of her friends didn't like me. And I'm like, why don't they like me? Like, well, because of all the troubles we've had. And I'm like, just this week, didn't you tell me that you thought it was wonderful that we'd never had an argument? She's like, yeah, I said that. I'm like, well, is there a problem? Are we having troubles? And she went, no. So I guess it was worse than not letting me know what was going on for her. She was trying to keep me from knowing what was going on for her. And so that, of course, ended terribly. And then I just did not know what was going on. I didn't know what to do. I'd kind of given up, like I thought, like, by now, if I hadn't found somebody to live my life with, then basically I was just year after year wasting my time looking. And I quit my job at the bike messenger company. The place was dwindling, and got a license to be an unarmed security guard, and just started doing that. And then actually that was like right about where I started living in my car and just like traveling from work site to work site. I took a trip through the Canyonlands of the United States. I saved up money and working just miserable jobs. And at one point in time, I was working a job, and this is where things just totally, this is where I just gave up, kind of. Only I think I had to hit bottom. And I hit bottom. I was at this job, this terrible warehouse job. working for a delivery company. And one day I just walked off the job. I finished my shift, said, I just want to make sure you have my address. You're going to have to mail me my check. And person that I basically gave my notice to, like, I'm walking off the job, said something like, you're never going to find a job as good as this, as a classic abusive relationship thing. And I said to myself, like, I'm going to see what I could find, like, what is the best place somebody like me with, like, no skills, no education, what's the best place for me to work? And that brings my pretty much brings to a close my search for a solution in my life that was going to involve somebody else. I was going to, like, just do things, like, I was going to do it alone, or I couldn't do it. And so that kind of ends that decade. It was pretty miserable. I wish I would have done it in some other way. But I think that I was kind of messed up coming out of, like, that 10-year relationship, and I just did not know what else to do. Nothing else occurred to me. So basically I tried to trying to recreate my old life, which just wasn't going to work. And starting a new life with that kind of mindset made it hard, if not impossible.